Everybody, how you doing? Today we are going over the OCs I had. Unfortunately, I am gonna leave one blooper out for I'm gonna put two bloopers in one week and then one in the other. So basically, I am gonna go over all the OCs I have, and I'll let you know if they're going to be continued or they're not going to be continued. Anyways, let's start with versions of myself. I have loads that I had in the past, and this is from my old channel. I mean, the channel I used to make Arch Club on, but I don't do anymore. Start with Zombie Haley. How long did she lasted originally? I wasn't really originally planning to do a lot with her. If I'd be honest, not originally. I did eventually go with making a version of it, a zombie, but later time. But early times I didn't even think about it, so she was automatically was left out. This was the first OC that I did have retired. DJ Haley. It was just more of there isn't really much I can work with. Especially with a character like her, it was just not easy. Yeah, the name was pretty long back then, so I had used to go by a different name. Unfortunately, this name didn't last long, so as a heads up, basically. But a version of the South has kept going. You'll see later. I think this is female Haley. She is still around. It's just not on as often as she was before. Torchica Haley. She was around for a while. It's just not recognized that much. But she eventually retired. Now here's the first character that I only made a side character OC, which is not a version of me, which is named Random Dude. And this was at the time where a lot of people question what conversation was saying. And this, just to say, this character was only there for one reel. And not real short. So yeah, it wasn't going to be long, very long. So yeah, it's not planning to return at all. Ace Tomboy, which is a random character as well. And the other character with that in that short also didn't last long. And it was trying to lessons, so they didn't last long either. Butler Haley didn't last long either, because it was automatically replaced with Imbuckus Haley. And this was one of the first ones I had originally created from a different character into a different type, and it lasted for quite a while. Until we're the time, basically. Jade. She was only around for 2 reels. And the last time she showed up was life as of every child served parent, but not every parent serves child, basically. Then there's Great Bear, which was the first me, but first I never mentioned the name. It was inspirational from Flare Frenzy from Roblox, a tower defense game. This is female first time. This is first character that did actually update. Brady, the character Brady, was meant to be, and it's just one of those OCs I only mentioned once. Same Barbie, and these characters were also mentioned once. So yeah, it's just the last story was like I said, Jade is same story. Without these two, they don't serve a child. Consider how abusive they were. And I was trying to give a good example, what parent doesn't deserve, and you'll see later that and then later on there's auto 4K neglecting. Normally I don't make a trans character. But in my early times I only made about one, if I'd be honest. And it was only for like mentioning like one example what it suffered so much to where even the teachers had to like get involved and protect her. It was a he, but they didn't like being a man. And I know a lot of people are not going to like accept the character, but rather accept that character than these two. They both the mystery of the. This one's dark. It's the mystery of the character, the main character in this reel was right here, and they assume his girlfriend is gay, basically, only because it's a tomboy. So basically, and that's his daughter Raban hugging his sister, basically. Then the police, of course, changed over time. The first update, this is the first time I think I introduced some podcast, maybe? Not sure. This was the only time I mentioned the baby toy Chica. Yes, they got a suit on, that was it. Then there was a shadow version of Great Bear. And then, this one. Then here's the rest of the two. They were there long. This one was here for quite some time in the past. Shadow Ink, Shadow Great Bear. Then this was only here for like one scene, which is Teenage Karen, which is and to mention something that had to deal with off camera a couple times. Then here's the first time I mentioned it's a child version. And this one will suffer a lot more of identity, which is relatable. Then here's the long one. Color Ink Shadow and Welcomes Haley. Yep, this one was around about the longest of its old version. So yeah. This one, yeah, you can probably guess this one. This character. This one was around for a bit, but not long. And these were just in my worst times, basically. Before I met somebody who changed my life, I was struggling with my mental health. Here's the first thing. This is a upgrade to Toy Chica that I mentioned a while back. Here's Evil Ink Shadow Great Bear. Ignore the background, don't worry about it. And then there's Evil Haley. Ignore the background, don't need to worry about the background. This one is, I would just say this one's better than a psychopath. This is the first time there's a character that is in mind, but, well, not. Isn't others, it's just a version, it's just, I'll say a maid that isn't great minded. This one's actually corrupted. This is more like a sociopath thing. The sociopath character. If I didn't move on from the past, this would have happened to me. There's corrupt Haley, which is of course you know why. This is what's originally just mangle, but I felt like splitting it up to give, I originally think of shipping, but I didn't think it was gross around, but then I later realized it was gross. So yeah, these two are not showing up as often as they used to be, because how gross I find it now. So I only mentioned them if I felt like I don't want to include my own characters at that time. So, here's the only time I made a version of myself from Gotcha Club 2. This was just the only version of me from there. Never was able to expand more than just one. Yeah, there's the updated version of Great Bear. Here's the one that was about to be random character. Here's the Montoy one. Then this honestly this might be my most forgotten OC, because I had no idea why I named this one. There's the updated version, and then there's a new one. This one was the one that's carried on, but it's a lot better character I made, and Probably the most hottest character I made, if I be honest. Because every other character I have I wasn't even trying to make it hot or anything. I just happened to. And I do see myself as hot sometimes, only by online, but in real life I has insecurities, so I never mention it. Here's the character I didn't mention that time. This was probably the newer version. There's the updated version of Zombie Haley, basically. And yes, most of these are in dresses. And there was one time where I was, I think this Fancy Haley. And it was only in there like twice. That's about it. And 2 videos. That's it. Shorts. This was another updated version. And I did some good editing there. Then here's Country Haley, which is once it was the country music. Here's Reverse Haley. Or yeah. Yeah. It's weird about his name. And then there's the last version I think I made. Email. Anyway. Then here's Out the Kids Soon. Then there's the channel name itself, where I've updated it finally. And then there's a creature. And then this is the final character. It was only there once. And this was not a version of me. This was first time I made an OC that isn't a version of me. It was about to be named like something unique, but unfortunately what happened to my old phone, basically unfortunately this character didn't last more than one short, so yeah, it didn't last long. Anyways, hope you enjoy going over my old ones, so see you guys later.